let the users run the community.
G'day, it's Simon here from iJump. I'm just about to exercise my democratic right to cast a vote in our country's election. And we've become quite used to the right to vote, but it's something that's also working its way into business. And today we've got an interview with a Swedish guy whose last name is almost impossible to pronounce. His first name is Andreas, and he's going to be talking about online communities and in effect the democratization of business. So it should be exciting. So I'm off to tick 2 boxes now, and I'll see you afterwards.
I've been visiting Wellington and had a session there talking about communities from a business perspective. I've also been to Christchurch, and today I'm here in Auckland.
What's been the most common question that people have asked?
How much does a community cost? Not from building it, but after you've built it and launched it. The answer to that is, of course, it varies between what kind of community you have, but you need to think about the administration of the community. One tip when administrating a community is to let the users help you administrate. Let the users report content that is abusive. Give them VIP status to sort of have their own chat room. Let the users run the community.
That involves quite a bit of letting go of control. Was that an issue for some of the people?
Yeah, but instead of being in control, try to be in touch with your target group.
And what are some examples of online communities?
Actually, I use a community right now when I'm here traveling, visiting. I'm also going to Australia. It's called the Resdagboken. That's actually a travel diary. So it's a free community for people out traveling. In Swedes like to travel a lot. So there's a free community. You can write your diary. It's actually a blog. About your trip. You can upload pictures, and as soon as you press the save button, it goes out a message to mom, dad, friends, colleagues, etc. It's you decide which it goes to, and they could comment your pictures, etc. and sort of be with you on your trip. And it's a very, very popular community. They have 226,000 members, 80 million page views each month. It's a very active community, and it's actually owned by an insurance company that sells travel insurances. So they've done a very smart move. So instead of building a community around travel insurances, they built the community. They thought one step further, not what we want to build a community about. So this is actually a good tip. This is something you need to think about. Don't build a community about what you think you want. Think one step further. What do our customer, our target group wants? Sure. And of course, travel insurances, they need people like traveling. So they built a community for people out traveling. And it's been a great success. A lot of traffic comes from this travel diary to their online store. And they've also been able to, from the behavior in the community, they've been able to take statistics from that and product develop, come up with new products.
That's great. Is that mostly coming just from behavioural statistics, or is it direct feedback? People are saying, I would love to have this. Okay.
Yeah, they got feedback and surveys.
So that's a great example of business to consumer community. What's a good example of business to business online community? Are they that much different?
No, they're not that different. It's the same kind of tools. But one thing you need to, another tip when building a community is think about the common interest that the people in the community has. The stronger the common interest is, the smaller volume of user is needed for having an active community. So if you have a small common interest, like in Facebook, I think so. It's just uploading pictures. You can have that's a successful community since it has a large volume of people. But if you have a smaller community but a strong common interest, it could work. For example, I love soccer. I'm a fan. Right. Not playing, watching. Yeah.
Just watching.
Yeah. Okay. And I have my local soccer team, Hammarby in Stockholm. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to chat or discuss Hammarby on Facebook. I want a more local one that's niche specialized in. So that, and we are not that many fans compared to Facebook.
Yeah.
So this common interest is very strong, but we're not so many. It's a very good community.
A lot of times people wonder, can people cope with one more community about their interests? What are your thoughts on that?
I've thought about that a lot, and I think I'm 33. I maybe can cope with 5, 6, but I think it's changing because when I look at my brother and his son, my godson, he's connected to 20.
Wow.
And they have different. They talk on the phone, they chat on the internet, and watch TV at the same time.
Yeah.
They can cope with so much more. But we also have seen that the older people, they are also getting into this community. If you look, we have a thing called Lotto here. It's bingo in Sweden. Older people play that online. It's very popular, and they've now added a community chat. So they. When they play it, they chat with each other.
Right.
So they actually having a really good time on the internet.
What would be your top 3 tips for running an online community?
The first tip is the one I mentioned with think what your target group needs, your customers, not what you need. You have to think about one step further, and that is we have a lot of success projects. They've put a effort in the sort of, you say pre-study, or they've done focus groups and really listen to their customers or employees or the members in the organization. That's the first tip. The second tip is, of course, the launch. It's quite important to launch because you can't involve the members, the target group early. Start involve them in even before you've started to build the community. Ask them what they want, and sort of identify the ambassadors. Mm-hmm. Sort of and make them VIP, and ask them what they want, and let them in when you started to build. Let them log in and start filling it with content, and they could invite friends. Yeah? And then you have sort of a small mass of people creating content and giving you feedback on what's good and what's not good, and they're having content in the community. Then you can sort of launch it in small steps. If you compare it with launching a regular website, you have the content, launch it. The community is empty, so that's the important thing.
Okay, so it's not an event; it's an ongoing kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's good. It's actually my third tip. It's that it is an ongoing event. You can't just launch it because people change. They one year maybe a few months. It's the discussion forums. It's the popular function on your community. The next few months it's blogging that is the most popular. So it's an ongoing process having a community there. And if as a company, if you decide to have a community, have someone be the community manager or community ambassador, etc. for that community. Maybe not full time, but 50%, depending on the size, of course, of the community.
Okay. That's great. And last of all, where can people find you online in English?
They can do a Google search on Andreas, STJERNSTROM. Actually, it's an O with 2 dots.
Oh, yes.
Right, that's a Swedish Ö.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, they can find me on episerver.com.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Well, that was easy. So I've voted now. I hope you've voted if you're in New Zealand. And wasn't Andreas great? So I especially liked what he said about not being in control, but being in touch. And I think that's a big mind shift that businesses have to take. And once they've taken that mind shift, it's just a matter of putting everything else in place. So just like I've had my say today, you can have your say on this episode. Just add your comment underneath this video, or send us an email, simon@iJump.co.nz. Don't forget to subscribe. You'll find instructions in the big red box top right hand corner of the iJump website. This is Simon saying see you next time.